Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. A bunch of stuff to talk about today. Now, if you remember a few days ago, I talked to you about this huge announcement that was coming courtesy of the ESO, or the European Southern Observatory, and we're going to get to that announcement here in just a minute. But first, kind of even more crazy if you ask me, is this new report of a Miami-based Congresswoman. Or, well, congressional candidate. She's in the race right now to win the congressional seat in Florida, but is no less a legitimate political candidate who, aside from just, being your sort of average, everyday politician, looking to win an election, has also admitted that she was once abducted by aliens and can communicate with extraterrestrials. The Miami-based politician running to replace Republican Representative Ilena Ros-Lehtinen has said in a number of Spanish-language TV interviews, most of which aired a few years back, that she was once taken aboard a spaceship by aliens where they discussed a number of topics with her. So in two videos dug up by the Miami Herald, Miss Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera explains in detail how she was taken by aliens when she was 7 years old, and once again around 10 years later. According to the woman, after taking her aboard the spacecraft, they spoke with her about, quote, a series of things that would happen, which she recounted in these television interviews. She said, quote, and they all happened, point to point. She said, quote, I went in, there were some round seats that were there and some quartz rocks that controlled the ship. The 59-year-old, who was actually Doral's first economic developer and was a Doral councilman from 2012 and 2014, said that the aliens weren't typical with, the big head, the black eyes, but that in fact, two of them were female and one was male, and that they looked just like us. And that were dressed in very simple garb that she said reminded her of the Christ the Redeemer statue, which you're seeing here. She said that the aliens appeared before her and telepathically told her to walk outside. Some of the information that she said she was given was that about conflicts happening in the Middle East, along with the fact that the world's energy center is in fact in Africa, and that God is a universal energy and not a man, saying, quote, he's not a person, he's an energy. He's part of everything. He speaks with people all over the world and they interpret what he says differently. In reality, there aren't different religions, there is just one. In a statement given this past Friday, Ms. Aguilera told the Miami Herald that she's not the only person who believes in other life forms, saying, quote, for years, people, including presidents like Ronald Reagan and Jimmy Carter, and astronauts have publicly claimed to have seen unidentified flying objects. Scientists such as Stephen Hawking and institutions like the Vatican have stated that there are billions of galaxies in the universe, and we are probably not alone. I join the majority of Americans who believe that there must be intelligent life in the billions of planets and galaxies in the universe. Lastly, she said that the aliens promised her to return, and she said that they kept their promise when she was 17, when they visited her for a second time. So yeah, there you have it. It's just another story, whether you guys believe it or not. Hers are a dime a dozen, A lot of people out there have stories like this and experiences, and there are a lot of similarities that happen and that match up with these cases. So, very interesting story. A Miami attorney by the name of Rick Yabor told the Herald finally that her hard-to-believe assertions could hurt her political ambitions. Miami politics are unusual, but this takes it to a new level. Well, I'd say so. And you know how the mainstream makes a mockery of anything having to do with aliens, so I'm sure this will definitely hurt her. But more power to her for coming out and at least standing by her story when confronted about it. And I think that tells you a lot about a person and whether they're actually telling the truth or not. So very interesting. Now on to the huge revelation that was to come. I spoke about this a couple days ago by the ESO, who were monitoring space with various telescopes around the world where they spotted something happening that had never been seen before ever. And that was the first ever glimpse of two colliding neutron stars, creating some beautiful observations of both light and gravitational waves that were detected from this massive cosmic event. So what you're seeing here are some actual stunning images, and you can see all of these different colors that this stunning event created. You're also seeing some artist illustrations put out by the ESO, beautifully detailing this eruption of light and gravitational waves, which, in other words, are these ripples, literal ripples in the universal fabric of space-time that were produced by this event, which is known as a kilonova. Many of you have heard of a supernova, which is when a star collapses and explodes. Well, this is very similar, but extremely more powerful. And it happens when the dead cores of two stars that have stopped burning fuel come together. And this is the first time that we have ever directly observed a kilonova eruption, with dozens of observatories detecting the event using every wavelength of light from radio waves to gamma rays. The event was observed in gravitational waves by the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, or LIGO. So imagine you have two suns, just like our own, that have died out, leaving nothing more than two extremely dense cores that are no longer putting out any kind of energy or anything like that. And they're extremely small. In fact, for as huge as an eruption as this thing was, these two neutrino stars were no larger than, say, the city of Los Angeles. And in the process, they spew out a myriad of heavy elements, such as gold and platinum, which is then shot out in every which way and direction out into the universe. Imagine massive chunks of gold and platinum the size of a house or more. And, maybe one day one of these pieces will actually land on Earth. But don't get your hopes up, because this occurred some 130 million light years from Earth in a galaxy called NGC 4993. So yeah, there you have it. That is the big announcement. So lastly today, I want to feature a few strange UFO sightings and things that were captured on camera. The first of which was a set of videos that was sent to me by someone in Mesa, Arizona, who believes there is something strange going on in the desert, we'll just say. And that maybe there are even some sort of mysterious tests taking place. And this all came about when the source of the footage noticed a formation of lights, 3 lights to be precise, sitting in the sky, changing formations, at one point moving into a triangular formation and then appearing to spin on its axis and change its position in the sky. And at one point, a helicopter can be seen circling the object, flying by and flying back. So go ahead and check these videos out.
Dude, it formed a triangle. Dude, it formed a perfect triangle. What the hell? Looks like they're rotating now. But they're still in the shape of a triangle. What the heck? Where are they?
Okay, so, again, these solid bright lights spotted in the skies over Mesa, Arizona, forming a diagonal line as well as a triangle, while these helicopters were seen in the area flying back and forth near them. Now, could these be separate lights, or were these all just one large triangular object that was simply tilting, moving maybe to a side view and then back to, a full-on view where you could actually see all 3 lights? It's extremely mysterious when you have lights moving in unison like this, as well as having other, conventional aircraft flying around it. Kind of makes me wonder, is something going on out there? Are they testing something? Or were they just watching this occur? It reminds me of the Phoenix lights that occurred back in 1997. So, something strange is going on out in the Arizona and Nevada deserts. And as long as we have video cameras and phones, we will keep featuring footage like this. So, of course, if you guys have any more info about it, do let me know, send me an email, or put it down in the video description. So with that, thank you guys for stopping by today. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. I've got another video in the making, and I will see you all back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.